So today we're going to be taking a look at the new ARGO Moth. Now this is essentially a salvage ship built on top of the mole. I'm really curious to see kind of how well this works. Without further ado, let's jump in. So the ARGO Mole. The ARGO Mole always was almost a bit of a cult classic. And I know any of the videos that I previously done, everybody really loved the ARGO Mole. And I think a lot of it was just back in the heyday when people used to grab a group of people together and went out to go do some good old-fashioned mining. I think it really resonated with a lot of people, and I think that's really what drove its popularity. I remember doing a video last summer, and I mean, there were bugs galore in the mole, but in the comments, everybody defended the ship and said how great of a ship it was. But at the same time, I mean, I couldn't walk up and down the ladder. Like, there were some pretty major bugs at the time. Now, those have been fixed, but I'm really curious to see how well the Moth actually lands. I'm really curious to see if it will be as popular as the mole, or is it going to be popular enough that it can really define its own following? So this is a first look. I mean, I pulled it out of the hangar. I kind of walked around just to find all the buttons and stuff, just so you're not watching me trying to find buttons. But other than that, we're going to go take it out and see what we think of it. So starting at the front here, we've got these two brand new big grabby hands, as they call them. These have some pretty good animations to them, apparently, so I'm excited to see what those are all about. We've got the lower salvage head, which is placed almost identically to the mining head, I believe. Lights, I believe that's the same number of lights that the mole used to have. Now this looks slightly different between the mole and the moth. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check, but I think these things that come down are positioned slightly differently over the mole. I'm curious to see how well those work. So this is a new cargo grid. Apparently it'll store 2 layers, so 12 8SU boxes on each side. That's quite a bit of storage. I think it overall holds just under 300, I believe is what the Q&A said. Because you also have the 2 hoppers as well. So this is actually the default paint that I have on it, and it's got a little bit more color than most ARGO ships. I actually thought this was a customized paint, but can't seem to take it off, so I don't think it is. So here we've got the new cargo elevator. They reworked some of the stuff in the back of the ship here to give us this. Ooh, this is nice. So I like kind of the same styling that they have on the Reclaimer with the little ramp that comes down. But I really like the little mag plates that you have here. I don't know, it's a nice touch just to kind of show that you actually have like something that can actually click to the grid there. That's nice. I'm gonna walk around this side of it. That's interesting. Pretty sure this side has 1 light and this side has 2. I wonder if that's on purpose. Yeah, fair enough. I don't really know why the one side has 2 and the other side has 1. That's a little strange. I think everything over here is largely the same as the other side. Again, we have that kind of drop-down wing that comes out. And then the new cargo grid here. Back to the lights. This doesn't look to be anything special. So this actually does still have the person elevator that you're used to out of the mole. Nice industrial feel to it for sure. I like that there were some loading lights when the door was actually open. It's kind of a nice touch. Back here, I thought for sure they'd put components or something back here. Doesn't really look like it. Over on this side, they say they cycle the door, but it doesn't actually. We got a suit locker, which doesn't work. Same as most of them. This side, what do we got for a turret here? Oh, that's kind of a problem. Yeah, I believe on the mole, this whole thing kind of moves forward a bit, not just straight down. Also a little bit weird, you can't lower it with the landing gear up. Or sorry, with the landing gear down.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Okay, so it's kind of similar controls to what you'd really expect. He has a tract, ship kind of levels itself out again. I think this is a little bit more closed off here than Mole was as well. This side should be, yep, another suit locker. Another salvage station. They said they've actually made this ladder opening a little bit wider. It does definitely look like it. That's really just to allow components to kind of get through that. Nice, I guess. This definitely looks familiar. Yeah, this is almost an identical interior to the mall. Another suit locker. Yeah, bathroom, 4 bunks. Another suit locker. Yeah, I mean, if you plunk me in the middle of this, I don't think I could tell the difference between the mole and the moth. Yeah, probably not a bad thing. Okay, so here we've got the components. Now, a little strange, they said they made the elevator bigger so we can get the components through there, but I don't think that's going to fit. Yeah, I don't think either of those is actually going to fit out the door. Okay. So we've got kind of our standard console for the 2 different sides. Makes sense. Got some more components here. Oh, that ladder is very demanding. Yeah, so we got more components here. And all of these doors kind of close off, and I mean, it's really got some nice animations. I really like how kind of all clamshell together as the door closes. It's a nice touch. And all of these doors have them. Buttons are a little bit weird. I gotta wait for it to actually close. Because the buttons are in 2 places if you look at them wrong. It's almost like the click is off a little bit, but not a big deal. Got a fire extinguisher here. I believe there's also a fire extinguisher in the back cargo area. And again, this is going to be kind of our standard cockpit layout. Does feel maybe a little bit more updated, but I could be missing that. Oh, and we also have an engineering console right here too. Kind of a nice touch. Well, let's go out and do some salvage. The ARGO Moth, that's what the ship is. It's really filling an interesting need that sits between, I'm going to say between the Vulture and the Reclaimer. But to be honest, kind of replaces the Reclaimer. So if this does have just under 300 SCU possible storage, including the hopper, I guess, and I believe the Reclaimer is rated at around 500. It's not a lot of difference. And considering this will actually take the middle tier of salvage material, or construction material, sorry. I mean, that refines faster, it's more valuable. Yeah, it's a hard argument for the Reclaimer, that's for sure. And so I'm just going to fly out here, see if I can find Something salvageable. Might be panels or something close, but scan it one more time just to see. I can't. Okay, just curious what you're doing. Sorry, buddy. He's probably filming a video or something. The nice thing about Star Citizen is he meets all sorts of people out here. I mean, panels in this thing might be a little bit challenging, because you're going to have to know exactly where to position it, but memory serves correct from back in my mining days with it. We basically want to position it like right below that console. And normally I will shut off the engines and hop downstairs. Let's see just how forgiving this positioning actually is. Oh, it looks good so far.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Make sure we have, we have power. Yeah, positioning looks just about perfect. To be honest, I might be a little bit far away, but no, maybe not. It looks like by default we've got a cinch and an abrade scraper. Kind of nice. Well, to be honest, I do miss the tractor beam. Wonder if I could actually swap one of them out for the tractor beam. Been a while since I actually salvaged. I think it normally is a lot faster than that. Yeah, the cinch is 0.6, so I always thought the braid was faster. I could be wrong, I guess. I'm gonna hop out of this seat and go to one of the edge seats. Probably the same one we went to last time. There's another fire extinguisher here as well. Just saw. Let's go this side this time.
Systems activating.
Oh,
Systems
yes, over here we've got
on.
again a cinch and an abrade. Does look like we've got roughly the same distance. I think in reality you're a little bit further back, but that'll be nice as you get to larger ships, especially if you have multiple people trying to do it. Because you position once and you can really have the 3 people trying to scrape it at the same time. It's a nice touch, but there's no real need to do it by an individual. Like just having one person do it. Which again, it's a nice touch. Animations are definitely a bit long getting out of those chairs. I guess that doesn't really matter because those are primarily going to be used just by salvage operators. If you're trying to solo this thing, you're probably in that ladder down there. That one I didn't find as bad. Yeah, so again, we've got the
Engines
cool little arms. These things you can't actually disintegrate, but if we could, we'd simply fragment and disintegrate. Oh, that's cool for animations. Those little grinders going. What's that look from the front here? Surprisingly, not as cool. So I think one of the biggest advantages that you're going to have over something like the Reclaimer is simply the fact that you can crunch up ships from the driver's seat. Way too often when I was using the Reclaimer solo, you'd crunch it, the pieces would break all over, then you got to go try and chase it down. Honestly, that was the one piece about using the Reclaimer solo I didn't like. This actually addresses it pretty nicely. Let's go see if we can find a salvage contract and see how this does on a larger ship. But really, this is where having that extra elevator for cargo in the back is really going to come in handy. Because in this case, I mean, if I needed aluminum, copper, or tin, I can easily go hop over, grab them, and throw them on that elevator. Not really taking the space for my actual salvage. For the RMC and the construction material, that is. That's a nice touch. And I mean, the same thing applies to components as well, right? If I was looking for components or I wanted to actually scavenge the components off of this, I could very easily do so. Really curious to see how exactly the cinch and the abrade modules will come into play when it comes to crafting. And really the quality of the goods that you get out of it. I'm curious if they will say, okay, well, maybe the cinch module will give you higher quality material. Trying to fill 300 SCU at that speed is going to suck. Let's go see if we can kick out that one SCU box. No. Looks like I can craft things, but I can't put it out. Okay, I just actually looked it up and it looks like it can only spit out 8 SCU boxes. That was unexpected. In that case, I'm not sitting there trying to... I'm not going to sit there and try and get 8 SCU out of that. Not at that speed. Not for this video anyway. It's already getting a little bit on the long side. So, if you can't scrape it, munch it. There we go.
Engines on.
It looks like it actually takes about 24 seconds per box to spit out. At least that's what it says it should take. Yeah, there we go. Let's actually a little bit of an animation. I mean, it's not fully there yet, but definitely a little bit of one this time. Feels like a lot more than 24 seconds. I like that the default paint, if this actually is the default paint, isn't just pure orange, like the rest of the Argo ships are. It does actually kind of surprise me that it isn't. Maybe on the loaner they give me some color. Maybe a paint that I can't take off or something. Alright. That's going to be the first look at the Argo Moth. Not to be confused with the Argo Mole, although very easy to confuse the two. Even the names sound familiar. But that's the first look at it. Let me know what your thoughts are on it if you have a copy in the game today. Let me know if you're actually thinking of purchasing this. To me, I think I need to play with it a little bit more. I don't really understand how it is different than the Reclaimer, which I do own. But at this point, I'm kind of questioning why I own it. Anyway, this has been Citizen Chaos, and I can't wait to see you in the verse.